this fills my cup, and I am so grateful to be on this journey with all of you. It's amazing, and I'll turn it back over to play.
So coming up next year is actually the 10-year anniversary of the Kyle Pease Foundation. And we would like to challenge everybody tonight as we continue through to consider a small gift to help us close out the year. $10, $100, something to help us celebrate 10. If one of the first people we sat down with, Mike Lenhart, who I see John's face, John Rutledge should know him well. We sat down with Mike Lenhart in Atlanta, who had been supporting athletes with disabilities for years. And he said to both of us at the dinner table that night, congratulations, you now own a business. And it really didn't resonate with us for a few months. And now looking back 10 years later, I am incredibly proud to be in the room with all of you that have helped us keep this business alive for the last 10 years, and especially these last 10 months, to allow us to serve and to allow us to support the incredible athletes and families that make up the Kyle Pease Foundation. So thank you all, and together we wheel.
With that said, for every athlete who donates tonight, I will match $10. So you can see in the chat, we have a number that you can text that will automatically be in donation. So please consider donating for our 10-year anniversary.
Go ahead, Shauna.
As Brent and was referring to and Kyle mentioned, we've wrapped up 9 years of the Kyle Pease Foundation. And we've looked through the participant list and we've looked through the screens, and there's been so many people that have been here from the beginning, came in the early or new this year, and it's KPF family, and that's who we are. Over the years, KPF has assisted over 135 different athletes cross a finish line. We have athletes that have crossed 20 finish lines a year. We've had athletes that cross 1 a year, but 135 individual athletes have been indoctrinated into the endurance world thanks to our family, thanks to our volunteers, thanks to our participants, thanks to all of you that made the time on Friday afternoon, today's Sunday, apparently, Sunday afternoon to hang out with us. And it is about the athletes. So if you'll bear with us, we'd like to call on a handful of athletes that we did give them a heads up, but bear with us as we switch screens. Kevin, who is such a clutch employee for us and also an advocate of our organization. He organized Spin for Kids this year for us, and just a fantastic addition to the family, is going to go first. So Kevin, we'd like you to share with us how long you've been a part of KPF. Your answer cannot be more than 9 years. And then the best part of the Kyle Pease Foundation for you.
One moment, please.
As an athlete, I've been with KPF since 2012. One of my first races was the Atlanta Thanksgiving Day Half Marathon. It was a little more trepid than I had anticipated. My dad and I ran with Brent and Kyle, along with a small group of volunteer runners. Neither my dad nor I knew the course, so we had to stay with Kyle and Brent. A 50-something pushing his son on a steel frame bike, trying to keep up with a group of guys half his age, was quite a spectacle. I remember thinking, okay, if Dad collapses, I need to ride to the closest medical tent and alert them somehow in a Lassie type way. Luckily, I didn't have to bark. As an employee, I've worked for KPF since 2018. A couple years after I graduated from college, I was looking for a job. I wasn't having much luck other than freelance journalism jobs, and I started panicking. I was trying to start a new chapter of my life, and I couldn't turn the page. Then, Brent approached me offering the budding position of engagement project manager for KPF. It was quite a relief to be able to move forward. The best part about KPF is that we are still growing and open to a wide range of athletes. I used to be the only crank athlete.
Uh-oh. Technical difficulty. Okay, can you start from here? I'm going to read the rest of it, seeing as his speech generator just died. So I used to be the only crank athlete, but I've gotten the chance to help KPF expand to include other crank athletes. We are also helping, not just through sports, but in offering a social outlet as well. So I believe in, and I'm living proof of, KPF's mission to improve lives beyond the finish line. Together we will.
Thank you, Kevin. I know Shauna's going to go to somebody else, but I would just like to point out that only in 2020 would Kevin's talking device speech generator die in the middle of his speech. So we are incredibly proud of Kevin, and usually behind his back, we always describe him as Kevin Enners, who is brilliant. And we are incredibly proud of him as a human being, as an athlete, and certainly as an employee of the Kyle Pease Foundation. So Kevin, thank you for your words tonight.
And I was going to say, I did mention that Kevin is a writer. We knew his answer wouldn't be short. And he didn't even get the Broken Wheel Award, and he's broken. Not our fault this year, Kevin, not our fault.
True.
Jay Dude, you there? Tell us how long you've been around and what a great part of 2020 was for you. Let's hear from Justin Knight, otherwise known as Jay Dude.
I met them to the trail. Basically with them to right now.
Right. He met them in 2012 and has raced with them since then until now.
Yeah. By the 18, I had a job for Flint and Kyle.
2018, he started a job with Brent and Kyle.
But yeah. Now, Jordan, I don't sad anymore.
In 2020, I'm not sad anymore.
Awesome, Jay Dude. Well, I want to say from a foundation point of view and a volunteer point of view, I love getting your birthday messages. It's so nice when you reach out to everybody and wish them a happy birthday.
Yeah, I do all the time. I am morning and night.
He says, I do it all the time, morning and night.
I know. I keep track of you. And I love it. Thank you so much. Cecil Williams, I believe you hopped in. Cecil, Justin and Jay Dude and Kevin have been very familiar and well-known athletes with the Kyle Pease Foundation for a bit now. Cecil's a newer face. Hey, Cecil, you got your wheels in your car. Let's hear from you. I'm going to skip one of your questions and say that Cecil joined us last year, right? Just last year you came on board with us.
Right.
And tell us some great parts about being part of the KPF family or a highlight from 2020. You've had some major accomplishments this year.
Give me 1 second. All right, I get it. I'm trying to. I just there we go. I'm trying to waste the phone, but I love the KP Foundation and what it's all about is inclusion. I can't say that enough. And together we will. It's 2019. I did the half marathon, the Thanksgiving marathon. I mean, it was amazing to see athletes with all disabilities after racing. and just smiling. You know, that in itself is a beautiful thing. You know, and I love keeping the mission, and I have great admiration for Kyle P's household net at that first time we met at the athlete celebration event, I think back in November of last year. But this year we did public, so I wanna got my medal. So I just it's an accomplishment because you get to, no matter your limits, you get to push yourself past your limits. In a sense, there are no limits. And it's a good feeling to know that a great foundation is behind us, behind you. You know, you're not alone. You know what I'm saying? Whether you are talking by yourself or whether someone is pushing you, but you know that, okay, if you look to the left, you look to the right, somebody is with you. So that's and together we will. And and I know this year has been a very trying year for everyone. But we made it through. We came back together. We pulled off. We did some virtual events. We did the virtual KPF marathon, and we just said that, and it was a celebration, you know. And when I seen it, I was like, wow, you know, it just, we matter, you know, we have a voice, and I just personally, for me, I can go on and on and on, but I just want to say thank you for giving me the platform to do what I love.
Cecil, you're amazing. What Cecil did not say, which he should brag on, is Cecil made a decision that it's been for kids. He was going to ride 62 miles, a metric century. He told us he wanted that distance before he told us that he wasn't currently training because he had to turn back in his bike. But he came out, and despite our best efforts to talk him out of it, he's like, I'm doing it. He had a wheel, he had a way, he found a way. He and David Burgos rode those 62 miles for the first time ever, and they crushed it. See, so we're so happy to have you as part of our family. Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you too. And plus I also want to add too, I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee, so I drive, you know, about close to 2 hours just to be a part of what you guys are doing. So that's a huge statement.
Yeah,
to make that distance, to be a part, you know.
And I speak up on all of our KPF family that we let you know that we hope you think it's worth your drive, because we know that we're a better family with you as part of it. So thank you very much for making that drive and being part of our family. All right, we are going to move on to another very familiar face, Cougar Clifford. Where are you? Cougar, when did you join us? And a fond KPF memory.
One second, Cougar, you are muted. I can unmute you. You should be good to go now. Yep, not yet.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can.
Alrighty. Well, about 5-ish years ago, I joined the foundation after we moved to Georgia. Me and my mom moved to Georgia so I could go to the Shepherd Center to receive therapy and My mom actually met Kyle at Publix, and of course he's so shy to meet everybody. He came up to her and talked to her, and then we also met Marjan Halbrooks at a bike race in Marietta, I think. And she was like, "Oh, have you heard about the Kyle Peace Foundation? They're this fantastic foundation." And at the time I had a hand cycle, but it wasn't that great. I hadn't really done that many rides in it. And the foundation really helped me out by providing a person to do the race with me. Probably the most memorable thing that comes to mind with the KPF Foundation is my first Marine Corps marathon, and the whole slew of emotions that came with going through the Blue Mile. For those of you who don't know, the Blue Mile during the Marine Corps marathon is, I don't think it's a full mile or not, but every few feet or so, there's a little sign next to the side of the road that has a picture of a fallen service member. And I've had a few family members who have served in the military, and that whole experience just hit me very hard. It was very humbling for especially the rest of the race, because it's about, I think, about a third of the way through. So right when you're really starting to feel it, and you see all those pictures, and you're just like, wow, I can run this. It's nothing compared to that. And my mom just got home too, so she'll be joining us for the rest of this, but together we will.
Thank you, Cougar. We're going to take a pause from our athletes and our family telling stories. I'm going to pass it back to Brent for a few minutes.
So we have a few awards tonight that we're going to give out, and I'd first like to invite Jeff Kaplan to join us. We'll unmute you here in just a second to share something about our first award. But we have traditionally given out the Broken Wheel Award. I can say that another positive from COVID is that nothing was broken, maybe outside of the stated obvious from a pandemic, but we do have a special renaming of the award, and I'd like to let Jeff Kaplan share a few words.
Hey, Brent and Kyle, thanks so much for having me, and it's great to rejoin the Kyle Peace Foundation family after a long time. So good to hear from everyone and see everyone. As some folks may know, in June 2014, my wife, Lucy Kaplan, was diagnosed with cancer. Despite an extremely dire diagnosis, Lucy set a goal of seeing both her sons graduate from college in May of 2019. As with all things that Lucy did and set out as goals for herself, this was yet another goal that she achieved, and she was able to realize her dream of seeing both boys graduate about 2 weeks before she lost her life. The Broken Wheel Award was created after Kyle and Brent's famed New York City marathon adventure, when a broken wheel resulted in both Kyle and Brent having to find some very creative ways to finish the New York Marathon. It was just a great example of how when plans go awry, as I think so many people in the foundation deal with on a day in, day out basis, it doesn't mean that you change your goals. It means you just simply find a different way to achieve them. And that courage, that tenacity, and that spirit possessed by everyone in the Kyle Peace Foundation family is represented by this award. After asking Brent and Kyle if we could pursue this and getting their support, starting this year, the Kaplan family is pleased to match the foundation's traditional award grant for the Broken Wheel Award and increase it to $1,000. We're also going to be renaming it the Lucy Kaplan Memorial Broken Wheel Award. When Lucy was having her most difficult days, oftentimes she'd look on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and see these great images of Kyle Peace Foundation athletes and their families, you know, participating in events or doing different things that, you know, she'd say, you know, this is just incredible. It really lifts my heart. And we want to kind of get back to that foundation and say thank you for that. Our 2020 winner of the Broken Wheel Award that we're announcing today has really exemplified this spirit of find a way, especially this year when COVID has impacted everybody on this call in so many different ways, taking challenges that people face on a day in, day out basis and sort of raising them to an exponential level. Despite that, so many people in the foundation have found different ways to you know, achieve their goals. And as Kyle would say, when there's a wheel, there's a way, as we saw recently with our New York City Marathon and other events that we put on. One individual, though, that, you know, we've seen quite a bit on social throughout this year, it just seems that they've kept their schedule going. They've achieved great things and great goals and really exemplified the spirit associated with the Broken Wheel Award. So with that, I'm pleased to announce and also congratulate Jessica Minton on being our first recipient of the 2020 Lucy Kaplan Memorial Broken Wheel Award. So Jessica, congratulations.
No, we're gonna unmute her.
I can't find Jessica to unmute her.
We got her. Go ahead, Jessica.
Thank you. I wasn't expecting that.
You know, it's interesting as we've heard from some of these athletes tonight, and Jessica, you're part of this group too. But and we'll talk a little bit about the Vinson family here tonight as well. But you know, we really struggled to find that first athlete, and Jake became a windfall for this foundation. And we met so many wonderful athletes, and you were part of that original group of athletes. And as Jeff said, you're the embodiment of this foundation and the courage that Lucy showed through her fight, and you were one of the many things that brought a smile to her. So it is an extreme pleasure to increase what this grant is, to be able to support your family. It is an unrestricted gift, and we're just so proud to partner with Jeff and his family and to grow this. And we look forward to seeing you, actually seeing emails from you letting us know all the races that you'll be doing that extend far beyond anything we do. So Jessica, thank you for being part of our family, and we are so honored and thrilled for you to get this award.
Thank you. I do want to say that I don't know how this worked out, but I got the Jake Vinson the year it was named to Jake Vinson. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
I was like, so that's just kind of weird. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, Jessica, if we rename another award and you get that too, third time's the charm. Stick around, just keep racing with us, and we'll know what happened. Jessica this year made the decision that racing or not, she was going to do all the things. So we have the Air Force Marathon Challenge that I believe had a 10K, a marathon, and ultra, a 50K that she did. She was on the Silver Comet every weekend, no matter what the weather was. She just she sent us an email again like 3 days ago that said, hey, I want to do this race. And I was like, ask us on Monday, please. Like, let us. But she has been cranking it, every pun intended. She has used this opportunity to become a healthier version of herself. And Jess, we're really proud to support you and have you as part of our family.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Awesome. We're going to hear from a couple more athletes before we get to our next awards. Jeff, thank you again to your family, and Jessica, congratulations.
Truly my pleasure. Jessica, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to turn it back over to Shauna to get a couple more athlete perspectives. So, Shauna.
So Jeff, thank you. Thank you so much for being our family, for being part of this, for everything. We have a couple more athletes that we want to reach out to, and they are New York City Marathon athletes. Just kind of a coincidental, kind of not. We want to talk to Kylie Kramlet. Are you on? I thought I saw your mom. Kylie, can we get Kylie? Hey, Kylie. So Kylie, I believe you have something prepared for us talking about how long you've been involved with KPF and picking one of many highlights from 2020 for you, because it's been a good year also.
I have been running 4 years. My favorite times this year were the New York Marathon and my own race. I ran the New York Marathon like my team. For my race, I ran by myself and set a PR.
And let me just add, as a mom who is super proud of all the work that Kylie put in this year to direct her first race, unbelievable. That was not even the highlight of the race here for me. As a mom, the Kyle Pease family and what they did for us, reaching out to Kylie and saying, you know, do you want to run in your neighborhood, in your area where you live, bringing the chair to Lawrenceville where we live, and giving her an opportunity to run on the weekends. It meant so much to me. And talking about inclusion, you know, running in your neighborhood with your friends, with the people that know you at your parks, it's a pretty big deal. And so I just want to say that was a highlight for me this year. Although the New York Marathon race was great, and so was her race directing debut. So look for her to do that again next year. Do you have anything else you wanted to say?
I love. Kyle. Keith. My. Best. Honor.
He's your what? Hero? He's your, she said you're her hero, Kyle.
Absolutely. Right back at you, Kylie. I'm so proud of you for what you have done with the New York City Marathon and directing your own event. It was awesome, and we can't wait till next year for it to get bigger and better. So thank you for being a leader and being a part of KPF.
Thank you.
All right, Kylie, thank you for sharing. Our last athlete that we're going to turn to tonight is the one and only Bentley Grace Hicks. Bentley Grace, your question is how long, 2 parts, how long have you been racing with the Kyle Pease Foundation, and what does being part of Kyle Pease Foundation mean to you? What's one of your highlights when being part of the Kyle Pease Foundation?
Well, I've been with the foundation for 5 years, and my favorite part of racing this year was the Snickers Marathon, because we qualified for Boston.
That's a really big deal. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm also looking forward to running across America.
All right, BG, thank you so much. Brent, we're going to toss it back to you to do another award before we turn to a little bit of volunteer discussion.
Earlier this year, when we could all still get together, I sat down with a former board member, John Rutledge, to just talk about a way to honor his wife, Bethany, and to help just share her courage with the foundation and to honor athletes that embody that. And I'd like to just invite John to join us for a few moments as well.
Hey guys, I'm John Rutledge. I've had the pleasure to race with the Kyle Pease Foundation family since 2015 and honored to serve on the board for a couple of years, rolling off last year. I lost Bethany in August of 2019. She was also a big supporter of the foundation and loved racing with KPF. She was one of the most courageous people that I've ever known. And she actually wrote a book called Courage to Try about leveraging the confidence that you gain tackling your goals in triathlon to be able to square up to challenges that you face in other areas of life. This is exactly what KPF does. It gives opportunities for each and every athlete, volunteer, and family member to get a glimpse of what is possible, starting on the race course, but by no means ending there. And that's what I love about it. We held the first annual Miles for Bethany 5K last weekend and raised over $37,000 in net proceeds and direct contributions, which I'm really happy about. 1/3 of which will go to KPF. So I'm pleased that this annual event is going to fund a grant to deserving family associated with KPF each year and will be given as the Bethany Rutledge Courage Award. This year's recipients meant a lot to Bethany. She raced with Ryan multiple times, and I had the privilege of seeing them cross several finish lines together. Ryan got out of his chair and walked with crutches across each one of those finish lines. And the smiles on his face and everyone who witnessed it was as close to pure joy as I think I've ever seen. This year has been challenging for all of us in different ways. But I understand that this year has been especially challenging for Ryan and his family. And so I hope this award is a reminder to you, Ryan and Nancy, that your courage does not go unnoticed and that you have your own platform to inspire those around you. I understand that Ryan is in need of a new motorized chair, and it makes me really happy to know that this award is going to take care of this need. So congratulations to the 2020 winners of the Bethany Rutledge Courage Award, Ryan and Nancy Whitley. God bless you both.
Wow. Thank you so much. Bethany was a light in the storm more often than not. And as you say, when Ryan saw Bethany and when they raced together with their team members, it was all smiles and all heart. You've taken me off guard, and for this, we are so grateful. And we're going to keep on trying to meet the challenges. Being part of this family foundation with Kyle and Brent and all of you has opened up a new world for us. And it has been difficult this year, but we're going to keep plugging and hope you'll hang in there with us while we try. Thank you so much.
We are here for you, and we're so glad to have you as part of our family.
John, thank you to you, to Kim and Ron, Bethany's parents who are on with us tonight. I hope you know the impact that your daughter has had on our community and the greater endurance community. Everybody knows Ryan from those Try the Parks races. Seeing Bethany and Carrie and whoever the third person they suckered into racing with them was going to be that year, and watching Ryan pull his out and come up. Yeah, Ryan, you're laughing now, aren't you, buddy? You know exactly what we're talking about. There was two that knew what was going on, and there was always a third that was a little unaware of what was coming. But we are so proud of you, Ryan. This is wonderful to have this award in Bethany's honor. John, your family, the Averys, our hearts are full, and we just cannot thank you all enough for helping make this stuff possible. Ryan, now that we're getting you this new fold-up chair, buddy, as soon as we're back to racing, we need you out there with us, and we're going to get you walking across another finish line with us, and you're part of the family, buddy, and we are honored and proud and privileged to have you as part of it.
Hey, Ryan, we love you as a skater, so keep wearing them and keep crossing every finish line. We're proud of you, buddy.
Okay, I think it's back to me. I want to thank all of our athletes that shared some of their stories and some of their inspiration and their moments today. It really, as someone sent me a text, I'm crying, and I told them they shouldn't chop onions while we're doing this thing, but I don't think it was the onions. It's such an amazing family that we're part of, but we also can't do it without our volunteers. And so for a little bit of a volunteer perspective, we'd like to call Alicia Harrington. And if you saw the slideshow, Alicia's was one of our first volunteers, and she is a how can I help kind of person. So if you saw our virtual marathon shirts for Lady Liberty pushing a Georgia Peach with a mask on, and we decided, unbeknownst to Brent, that we would get Kyle a peach outfit and a Lady Liberty costume. And originally I thought it was going to be me, but I was like, Alicia's pushing Kyle. And Alicia's like, I'm in. So we can't do, all of our volunteers are so great. I'm in, I'll do it. Alicia just epitomizes it all. So Alicia, if you would do a quick introduction of yourself, how long you've been involved with KPF, KPF personal highlight for you, a highlight from 2020, just a little bit to give folks who maybe have not volunteered what kind of perspective our volunteers get, and what our volunteers get out of it too.
I'm Alicia Harrington. I think maybe 2013, I saw an article in the AJC about these two wonderful brothers who had just completed the Peachtree Road Race. And it said more information, email, I think it was Kyle or Brent. I emailed them and said, I would love to participate. And I don't know if you know a prayer to St. Francis. But it says, in giving of yourself, you receive. And I can't pick out any one of them, or because I've loved them all. And I have received more than I've given. And thank you. And it's a great organization, and all of it. Just thank you. And you guys are awesome. And that's all I can say right now, because it's been great.
Oh, Alicia, you're just so fantastic. Well, and we are such better people for getting to have you as part of our family. And it makes perfect sense that Alicia tells us about what it's like to volunteer. And then I get to pass it back to Brent, who's going to introduce our last award of the night, the Jake Vinson Family Grant, as Alicia also serves on that committee. So Brent, y'all, thank you for all of the airtime you allowed me to have. Brent, it's back to you now.
Well, thank you all again for being part of this evening. Now everybody has been forewarned of what this event will look like going forward, of really highlighting the wonderful people that make up the Kyle Peace Foundation. Mike Reagan said to us one year at one of the races, as we were dealing with some of the craziness of at Marine Corps, and Mike turned to me and said, you know, these are our people, and that's the best part of what we do. So thank you guys all for being our people. So as you heard, and Amy and Scott Vinson are with us tonight, I hope you all realize again, we share it with pride every year, meeting you, Amy, at that cold race out by the river, actually, where we just did the virtual New York Marathon, of what that allowed us to do and to create these wonderful gifts and awards tonight, but the wonderful families that make it up. I would just like to read it before I turn over to Amy, because we read it every year, the wonderful words that inscribe our plaque that go to the Jake Vinson Family Grant. The Jake Vinson Family Grant is awarded to one recipient annually that best represents the courage and will of the Vinson family and the Kyle Peace Foundation. Jake Vinson was the first athlete to represent KPF in 2012 and has forever impacted our organization and those we serve. On October 2nd, 2014, heaven gained a new angel, and Jake and the Vinson family has carried on his memory in so many ways. The Jake Vinson Family Grant is a small honor in the memory of one of our most courageous athletes. Amy and Scott, thank you all for continuing to share your family with us and making these gifts so wonderful. We've raised over $150,000 through your golf tournament, and have we've granted almost $150,000 through your golf tournament. So thank you all for being a part of this, and I'll let Amy share the wonderful news tonight.
Unmute. Am I unmuted? Can you hear me?
You're great, Amy.
Okay, good. Thanks. Like Brent said, I'm Amy Vinson. I'm Jake's mom. And I have to say that, COVID has really thrown us a curveball this year, but this platform here tonight has been really, it's been lovely. And I feel like I've gotten to know so many more people so much more closely. So thank you for that. And thank you for everybody that's here tonight on this call. I'm here to announce the Jake Vinson Family Grant winner. We're so excited. And as Brent mentioned, Jake was the first athlete for KPF. And because of this foundation, his legacy is able to live on. So every year we hold a golf tournament called the Jake. It's in the fall. And 100% of the proceeds raised at the tournament each year go to the recipient of this grant. So this allows us to keep his legacy alive and help so many others. Because of this grant, participants have been able to purchase accessible vehicles, remodel the bathrooms, modify living spaces, and so many other really incredible things. So it's a wonderful event, just like all of these events are, and it's a really, really great day. And so we're so happy to be able to be a part of it. We thank the Kyle Vinson, I'm sorry, you're part of my family now, Kyle. we want to thank the Kyle Pease Foundation for renaming the grant in 2015 to the Jake Vinson Family Grant. It just means a whole lot to us. So thank you for that. And without further ado, it is my pleasure to announce this year's winner of the Jake Vinson Family Grant, and that is Dontavius Ridley. Congratulations.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I didn't expect that. Oh my God.
What'd you get, man?
Oh my God.
He won the grant.
I didn't expect that.
Very well. Very well served.
Thanks to the Kyle Pease Foundation and thanks to I love this foundation. I love this foundation, man. I joined this foundation just about a year, almost 2 years ago today, and you don't know how much this really means to me. It really means a lot to me. Thanks to Kyle, always, whatever I need, I always look at Kyle and Brett like my big brothers from another mother. And I just want to say to the Almighty God, thank you, because without you, it won't be no me. And thanks to all the volunteers and all the coordinators. I promise you, I didn't expect to get this, because this grant could have went to many more people. And thanks to all the other athletes, because you guys are winners too. And I promise, man, like I said, I didn't expect to get this grant, period.
So Dontavius, you're gonna be getting a new accessible van, so you can get to it.
Thank God. Thank God. Oh God. Oh, I didn't expect that at all. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that.
It is true. We are breaking. You have really been a shining light in our lives, and as well as the foundation. So we hope that this van will allow you to come to more races and allow you to get easily around the city of Atlanta. And we are just so proud of you and to your family and to the volunteers that came out to help you today. Thank you. And we are so proud of you. So congratulations.
Dontavius, there's a whole committee of folks that go through this process. Alicia is part of that. And we really appreciate all their efforts. Lucy Kaplan has served on that committee before she passed as well. And it's an incredibly difficult process, but we are incredibly proud. We do have one other exciting tidbit that actually just happened today. Thanks to the generosity of another donor, the insurance on the vehicle will also be covered for the first 12 months as well for you guys.
That is awesome.
Yay. Amy, thank you. Scott, thank you both. Thank you to everybody. We are so honored to be able to celebrate you guys because you are the people that make up the Kyle Pease Foundation. So your courage, your tenacity, your hard work of promoting inclusion are what make this thing work. So thank you all for being part of it. And we'll hang out here for a few minutes, but this concludes our athlete celebration this evening. And thank you again for being here. We'll post the donate link one more time, as well as the silent auction for anybody that's trying to get that Kevin Costner poster. Be careful. I'm raising the number here shortly. So
I believe Kyle has a toast for us.
Yes. On behalf of our, as we turn the calendar to year 10, I am beyond grateful for all of you, all of our athletes, all of our volunteers, our donors, the people that make the Kyle Pease Foundation work, because it would not be possible without any of you. Just thank you. We're here to year 10, and thank you to Shauna and Morgan for putting this program together tonight. So here's to year 10 and many more.